Hidden among the leaves in Ecuador's jungle is a small wildcat with a camouflage of a masterpiece. Today, let's paint the beautiful and mysterious ocelot. Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today, we're continuing our Traveling the World One Painting at a Time series, and this painting takes us to the lush jungles of Ecuador. I was inspired by an adventure into the Ecuadorian jungle where every step seemed to reveal another layer of life: leaves, vines, sounds, shadows, and somewhere in that dense greenery, animals quietly moving through their world. For this painting, our ocelot will be walking along the jungle trail, surrounded by lush tropical foliage. Let's begin by sketching the composition. I am using a yellow ochre watercolor pencil for the ocelot, green for the large leaves, and brown for the jungle trail. Watercolor pencils are perfect for these because they give us a light guide for the painting while blending naturally into the watercolor as we work. Focus on the overall shape of the ocelot first, then add the large leaves and the trail. At this stage, don't worry about every detail. We're simply creating a map for the painting. Now let's begin with the ocelot. Using a large brush and a diluted wash, apply the first base layer to the body. Keep the color soft and transparent. This first layer establishes the warm golden tone of the ocelot while leaving room for the darker markings we'll add later. As this area begins to dry, let's move into the surrounding jungle. Add a soft base layer for the large leaves, the trail, and the background. Vary the greens slightly. Some areas can be warmer and more yellow. Others can be cooler and deeper. This variation helps the jungle feel natural and organic rather than flat. Ocelots are found throughout parts of Central and South America, including Ecuador, and they are incredibly well adapted to life in the dense forest. They are mostly active at night, which makes them difficult to spot. And with their beautiful spotted coats, they almost seem designed to disappear in the patterns of light and shadow beneath the jungle canopy. Once the first layers have dried, let's return to our ocelot. Using a smaller brush and more saturated paint, begin building the darker markings and shadowed areas. Follow the shape of the body with your brushstrokes. The markings should help describe the form of the animal. Rather than painting each spot as a separate symbol, think about how patterns wrap around the body. This is where the ocelot begins to develop its personality. Now, let's focus on the face. If needed, use a black watercolor pencil to carefully define the eyes, nose, and distinctive facial markings. The eyes are especially important. Even the smallest detail can completely change the expression of the animal. A few precise marks can transform a simple painted shape into a curious, alert, or confident ocelot. Here's another fun fact. Ocelots are excellent hunters and have very sharp vision and hearing. Their spotted coats help them blend into the complex patterns of the forest, allowing them to move through the shadows almost unnoticed. They may be smaller than some of the famous big cats, but they're still skilled and powerful predators. Now let's continue building contrast in our painting. Add darker browns and deeper greens to the jungle foliage. Use more saturated paint in some areas and softer, more diluted colors in others. This creates depth and helps guide the viewer's eye towards the ocelot. The trail can also benefit from a little variation. Add darker browns to suggest shadows, texture, and uneven ground. Remember, you don't need to paint every leaf or blade of grass. A few carefully placed marks can suggest an entire jungle. Keep moving back and forth between the animal and its environment. As the painting develops, the ocelot should begin to feel as though it belongs within the scene, not pasted on top of the jungle, but quietly moving through it. That's one of my favorite parts of painting wildlife. The goal isn't to just paint an animal, it is to create a moment, a glimpse into a world that exists whether we're there to see it or not. Continue adding details until the balance feels right. Deepen a few shadows, refine the face, add texture to the leaves, strengthen the trail. And remember, watercolor is built layer by layer. You don't have to solve the entire painting at once. Just keep making the next brushstroke. And there we have it. A colorful ocelot moving through the lush jungle of Ecuador. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. If you've been enjoying traveling the world one painting at a time, be sure to explore the entire series here on the channel. We've traveled through Alaska, explored the wildlife of Latin America, and there's still many more fascinating animals and destinations awaiting to be painted. So be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next stop on our journey. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating, and remember to find joy in the small wonders hiding all around you. Happy painting!